3 multiplying polynomials. When you're multiplying polynomials, we're doing the same exact thing that we were doing in 3.2 with our rules for exponents. You want to keep the variable, add the exponents. If you are multiplying two variable terms that have different coefficients or same coefficients, you want to make sure that you multiply those coefficients as well. If we look at example A, we have 3x squared times x squared plus 4. So we are going to distribute this 3x squared to both the x squared as well as the 4. So this is going to be 3x squared times x squared as well as 3x squared times 4. That 3x squared is positive, which is why we're putting that plus sign in front of the 3x squared when we're multiplying it by 4. So we have 3x squared times x squared. The 3 is going to be multiplied by the invisible 1 coefficient of the x squared. So it's going to be 3. Keep the x, add your exponents. 2 plus 2 gives us 4. Then we have 3x squared times 4. 3 times 4 is 12. The 4 doesn't have an x, so keep the x squared. So we have 3x to the 4th power plus 12x squared. If we look at example B, we have AB times A cubed plus 3AB squared minus B squared. So we're going to distribute this AB and multiply it by every term inside those parentheses. So we're going to have AB times A cubed plus AB times 3AB squared plus AB times negative B squared. So the AB times A cubed is going to be A to the 4th power B. The AB times 3AB squared is going to be a positive 3A squared B cubed. And then the AB times negative B squared is going to be a negative AB cubed. If we look at example C, we now have 3CD squared times 4C squared D minus 6CD plus 14CD squared. So we're going to, again, distribute this 3CD squared and multiply by everything inside those parentheses. So we're going to have 3CD squared times 4C squared D plus 3CD squared times negative 6CD plus 3CD squared times 14CD squared. So now start multiplying these. The 3CD squared times 4C squared D. The 3 times the 4 is 12. C times C squared is C cubed. D squared times D is D cubed. Then you have the 3CD squared times negative 6CD. 3 times negative 6 is negative 18. C times C is C squared. D squared times D is D cubed. Then you have the 3CD squared times 14CD squared. So 3 times 14, the 3 times the 14 is 42. It's going to be a positive. The C times C is C squared, and D squared times D squared is D to the 4th power. So in total, we have the 12C cubed D cubed minus 18C squared D cubed plus 42C squared D to the 4th power. Oops. For D, we have x squared y times 6y cubed plus y squared minus 28y plus 30. So we're going to distribute this in, multiply it by all four terms. So we're going to have x squared y times 6y cubed plus x squared y times y squared plus x squared y times negative 28y plus x squared y times 30. So start with the x squared y times 6y cubed. The 6 is going to stay. The x squared is going to stay. Y times y cubed is y to the 4th power. Then you have a positive x squared y times y squared. So this is going to be x squared y cubed. Next you have x squared y times negative 28y. So this is going to be a negative 28 x squared y squared. And lastly, you have a x squared y times 30, which is just 30x squared y. at our next example. We now have two binomials that are being multiplied by one another. So when we do this, it's taking the first term in the first set of parentheses and multiplying it by each term in the second set of parentheses, and then multiplying that second term in the first set of parentheses by each term in the second set of parentheses. So we're going to have 2a times 3a plus 5b minus b times 3a plus 5b. So now we're distributing the 2a in as well as the negative b in. So the 2a times 3a is going to be 6a squared. The 2a times 5b is going to be a positive 10ab. The negative b times 3a is negative 3ab. The negative b times 5b is going to be a negative 5b squared. So from here you have to combine like terms. Your like terms here are the 10ab and the negative 3ab. So when we combine them, this is going to turn into 6a squared plus 7ab minus 5b squared. For f, we have x minus 2 times 1 plus 3x minus x squared. So again, we're distributing the first term to each term in the second set of parentheses, and then the second term to those three terms in the second set of parentheses. So we're going to have x times 1 plus 3x minus x squared, as well as negative 2 times 1 plus 3x minus x squared. So distribute the x in. You're going to have 1 times x, which is x, then x times 3x, which is a positive 3x squared. X times negative x squared is negative x cubed. Now distribute the 2 in, the negative 2. So negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. Negative 2 times 3x is negative 6x. The negative 2 times negative x squared is a positive 2x squared. So now combine your like terms if you can. You have an x, you have a negative 6x, so combine them. You have a 3x squared, you have a 2x squared. Combine them. While you do this, you can put this in standard form as well. Remember, standard form, your first term is going to have the highest degree, and it's going to go from greatest to least from left to right based on degree and alphabetical order. So we're going to put that negative x cubed first. Then we're going to have the 3x squared plus the 2x squared, which is going to give us a positive 5x squared. Then we work with our x's. X minus 6x is a negative 5x. And lastly, we have that negative 2. So negative x cubed plus 5x squared minus 5x minus 2. For g, we're doing the same thing. We have now a trinomial multiplied by a trinomial. So again, we're multiplying each term in that first set of parentheses by each term in the second set of parentheses. So we're going to start with the x squared times the x squared minus x plus 1. Then we have that 3x times the x squared minus x plus 1. And lastly, we have that negative 5 times x squared minus x plus 1. So distribute the x squared. X squared times x squared is x to the 4th. X squared times negative x is negative x cubed. X squared times 1 is x squared. Now distribute the 3x. 3x times x squared is going to be a positive 3x cubed. Then you have the 3x times negative x. It's going to be a negative 3x squared. 3x times 1 is a positive 3x. Now distribute that negative 5. So negative 5 times x squared is negative 5x squared. The negative 5 times negative x is a positive 5x. And negative 5 times 1 is negative 5. So now combine your like terms. The x to the 4th power doesn't have another x to the 4th power that it combines with, so drop it down. The negative x cubed and the positive 3x cubed combine to give us a positive 2x cubed. Then we have that x squared minus 3x squared minus 5x squared. When we combine those, we get a negative 7x squared. Next we have the 3x and the 5x that we are combining. And when we do that, we have where is it? The 3x and the 5x gives us 8x, so a positive 8x. And then next we have that negative 5. So we have x to the 4th power plus 2x cubed minus 7x squared plus 8x minus 5. For example H, we have 3b minus 2c times 3b squared minus bc minus 2c squared. So when we're combining this, we're going to take that 3b and we're going to multiply it by everything inside the second set of parentheses. And then we're going to take that negative 2c and multiply it by everything inside the second set of parentheses. So start distributing. The 3b times 3b squared is going to give us a 9b cubed. The 3b times negative bc is going to give us negative 3b squared c. And the 3b times negative 2c squared is going to be negative 6bc squared. The negative 2c times 3b squared, when we're distributing that negative 2c in the second set of parentheses, we're going to get negative 6b squared c. You see how I put the b squared first? You want to keep these in alphabetical order. Then you have negative 2c times negative bc. We're going to have a positive 2bc squared. And then we have a negative 2c times negative 2c squared is going to be a positive 4, positive 4c cubed. So now check to see if you have any like terms that you can combine. Does anything match with a 9b cubed? No. So drop it down. Does anything match with the negative 3b squared c? Yes, the negative 6b squared c. So combine those, we're going to have a negative 9b squared c. Next we have negative 6bc squared and 2bc squared. So when we combine those, we get a negative 4bc squared. And lastly, we drop down that 4c cubed. So 9b cubed minus 9b squared c minus 4bc squared plus 4c cubed. For I, we're going to take every term in the first set of parentheses and multiply it by every term in the second set of parentheses. So we have x squared times x squared plus 5x minus 2, negative 4x times x squared plus 5x minus 2, and lastly a 1, so a positive 1 times x squared plus 5x minus 2. So start distributing. The x squared times x squared is x to the 4th power. The x squared times 5x is a positive 5x cubed. The x squared times negative 2 is negative 2x squared. The negative 4x times x squared is going to be a negative 4x cubed. The negative 4x times 5x is going to be a negative 20x squared. The negative 4x times negative 2 is going to be a positive 8x. And then the positive 1 times everything is just rewriting that second set, or the second set of parentheses. So from here, combine your like terms. Nothing matches with the x cubed, or x to the 4th power, so we'll just rewrite it. The x cubed, the 5x cubed, the negative 4x cubed, you're combining those to get a positive x cubed. The negative 2x squared minus 20x squared is negative 22x squared, plus x squared gives us negative 21x squared. Next you have the 8x and the 5x, which is going to give us a positive 13x, and then that minus 2 drops down. So x to the 4th power plus x cubed minus 21x squared plus 13x minus 2.